She sits on a deck of a rustic A-frame cabin. She's not fashionably dressed. A brown, short-sleeve expedition shirt, a scratchy, drab-colored set of insect shield convertible pants, torn in a few places by bramble. Her forearms, scented with the remnant odor of lemon eucalyptus oil insect repellent, are well muscled enough to show she can push her way through overgrown trails. Her rough, bare feet are masculine enough to prove she's walked on tough terrain. Her eyes follow a sloping meadow. Beyond, the flat plain of salt marsh, divided by a meandering estuary. Further, a white swath of granite outcroppings. Beyond this, the marsh rising again into upland forest. The only sounds she hears are the hum of an old refrigerator, the chirping of crickets, the moan of a foghorn from a hump of an island just off the coast. For the past 3 weeks, she has been counting birds. She likes being alone, better than working in an urban high-rise. It's a lovely day, and she can't think of any better place to be, more or less.
Drab-colored? You call chocolate heather drab-colored?
That's what it is, drab-colored. Does this justify her interruption of a carefully planned scene?
Well, I don't like what you've done. Are you seriously going to leave me in a bird sanctuary in the wilderness? For how long?
Not much longer.
Really?
She's gonna meet someone new.
But you said I like being alone.
She does and she doesn't.
Just who or what in this desolate place is going to be aroused by my masculine-looking toes? Black bear?
It's not desolate. It's paradisiacal. I like her feet.
Oh, come on. What exactly am I supposed to be?
She's an ornithologist.
Oh, brother. Just what is at stake here?
She's very smart. She has a PhD in biology from Cornell University. Her thesis was on the female reproductive anatomy of the wild turkey.
And you call yourself a writer?
I think she's attractive.
Sure, if you're into cloaca.
Which is the female reproductive anatomy of the wild turkey.
Trust me.
So are you going to give me a name or just call me she for the rest of the story?
I haven't quite decided.
You've got to be kidding me. Did I ask to be a big-footed, insecticide-reeking, muscle-bound Midge the ornithologist? In a mediocre fiction written by a second or third-rate fictionalist?
She shows signs of being an intelligent woman.
And stop calling me she. I did not ask for this. And no, being nothing is better than what you've planned for me.
She's going to fall in love.
In the middle of nowhere? Brilliant!
She's going to meet some guy in the woods.
What, like you?
I can't just stop the story. I've created her.
Well then, change the scene!
Manhattan. How about it? And pronto.
Manhattan's loud and smelly. Here, there will be this guy and the birds.
Make me into a sexy New York literary agent.
I don't want her to be a sexy literary agent. I want her to be an ornithologist.
Why? Afraid I'll reject both you and your book?
Listen, the scene is a remote bird sanctuary. She's an ornithologist whose job it is to count birds. She's going to fall in love with some guy she meets by chance in the forest. Want me to change the feet? Give her small, delicate feet, like a ballet dancer. Dress her in ballet-style shoes that lace up around her slender ankles.
And I could be unbuttoning the top 3 buttons of my expedition shirt. Like this. See? Because it's so hot outside. And now I'm bending down to unlace the ballet shoes.
If I want to undress her, I will.
Creep. Watch me, Mr. Subtle, as I unsnap the top button of my drab-colored insect shield pants. And look closer. You've given me a very small, artful tattoo, 1 inch above my shaved lemon eucalyptus smudge.
I've done no such thing.
Well, then maybe I don't want to be in this story.
She doesn't have a choice.
You think so?
She can't just walk out.
Watch me. And quit calling me she.
It's a point of view thing. Some novelist won the Nobel Prize in Literature using the third person, singular human animate female personal pronoun alone.
Watch me!
It's going to rain. Really hard. With lightning and thunder, and the bears.
Your cheap fragmentary sentences don't frighten me.
Coyotes, feral cats, rabid foxes, bull moose. I'm not kidding. You have to be careful. I'd worry.
I don't care what you try to do to me.
Oh, really? She doesn't care? Well then, fine. Let's see how far she gets. Opening the door and slamming it shut behind her. Walking barefoot, oh lovely feet. Out into the lush green meadow, the sky clouding up, the heavy air foreshadowing a storm. She walking down the long slope towards the salt estuary. A dragonfly floating past her, vibrating, trembling its tiny wings, gliding on the dead still air, she becoming smaller and smaller as the distance increases, disappearing behind a dip in the meadow above the marsh grass, forever gone. Oh, the crickets chirping, melancholily, the refrigerator's mechanical buzzing, making the rustic old A-frame suddenly seem unbearably, intolerably silent, the historic lighthouse bemoaning 156 years of reclusion. She's on her way to Manhattan,